conductors, farads per unit length of line. G is shunt leakage conductance between conductors, moles per unit length of the line. Okay, so in that any doubt you have RLCG. Okay, this is how we are writing. Then if you want to find the series reactance, then omega L is the series reactance, that is ohms per unit length of a line. So series impedance, how will we write? Resistance plus reactance. So Z equal to R plus J omega L. So Z equal to R plus J omega L is the series impedance, ohms per unit length of a line. Then similarly for shunt, we write shunt susceptance, that is due to capacitance. So omega C. This is mohs per unit length of a line. And the shunt admittance Y is G plus J omega C, mohs per unit length of a line. Okay. So up to this, all these parameters and equations we already have seen in the previous class. Is it fine? Any doubt? Okay. See, since you people are in third semester and you have not come to the college also, if you have doubt, even if it is a very small doubt, okay, you can ask, nothing wrong in it. Otherwise, how we will know that you people are having doubt in one particular point? Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask then and there. See, yesterday we have drawn the equivalent circuit of a transmission line like this, isn't it? Like this we have drawn. So here, combining these two quantities, we are writing it as Z series impedance, and combining these two effect, we are writing as shunt admittance. Okay. So our circuit can be drawn as in terms of impedance and admittance like this also. Okay, this way also a transmission line units equivalent circuit can also be drawn, Z, Y. Okay, and if we are interested in symmetrical network, so whatever this we have drawn only for one particular, okay, one section. Okay, if we draw it repeatedly, because it is only for unit length, no, unit length of a line. So this will be repeating, isn't it? So if we draw for n unit length, then the structure will be repeating n times. So here I have repeated 3 times. See, and this is Z, this is Y, this is Z, this is Y. Is it right? So instead of drawing that Z as Z alone, if we are interested in symmetrical section, this Z can be split into Z by 2, Z by 2, isn't it? Z by 2, Z by 2, Z by 2 plus Z by 2, that way also it can be split and drawn as symmetrical transmission line. Okay, symmetrical circuit. Okay, so here the unit section is drawn as the series impedance Z in this representation and shunt admittance Y this representation. Okay, so here we started with this RLCG, but that can be written only with impedance and admittance, series impedance, shunt admittance. And the series component can be, because resistor in series will add. Okay, it can also be drawn Z, instead of Z we can draw Z by 2, Z by 2, and we can take that as that effect is present symmetrically on both sides of this capacitor line. Okay, so the symmetry, for a symmetric to achieve symmetricity, the circuit can be drawn this way. Okay, so here Z is the series impedance, Y is the series admittance, and everything is for per unit length. We consider the circuit length. Okay, we consider the unit length distance as ds, the length of this transmission line. At this point here we consider as ds. Then the total impedance, series impedance present will be ZDS. Total the total shunt admittance present for ds length is YDS. Okay, so that is the notation given in this circuit. And we consider I is the current in the line at any point. Okay, I is the current in the line at any point, and E is the voltage between conductors at any point. E is the voltage between conductors at any point, and the length of that line we consider is L. Okay, the transmission length we consider as L. So L is the length of the transmission line, and we consider only this particular, okay, one unit element, okay, one section. This section is S distance from the load. Okay, we consider it is present at S distance from the load, and the distance between the source and the load we consider as L. That is the length of the transmission line. And what is ISES? IS is the source current, ES is the source voltage. And similarly, for the load side, IR is the load current and ZR is the load impedance. Okay, so this is how we are describing this circuit. In this, any doubt you have? Is the circuit clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, we need to analyze the circuit and we need to get some solution. Okay, the solution will help us in finding voltage and current in the line. Okay, so for that we need to arrive at some solution. But the analysis is slightly different from lumped element analysis. Okay, a circuit with the distributed parameters requires a method of analysis somewhat different from that employed in circuits of lumped constants. Okay, here, since voltage drop occurs across each series increment of a line. This is one series. Okay, this is one series. Each series increment of a line, we consider that there is a voltage drop. Okay, and the voltage applied to each increment of shunt admittance is a variable. Okay, because each series increment there is a voltage drop. So the voltage applied to each series, each increment of shunt admittance is a variable. Thus, the shunted current is a variable along the line. This shunted current also a variable along the line. Okay, here voltage drop occurs across each series increment of a line. Each series increment of line, there is a voltage drop. The voltage applied to, so that's why the voltage applied to each shunt, okay, each increment of shunt admittance is a variable. So the shunted current is a variable. Hence, the line current around the loop is not a constant. And also the line, if we consider one loop, the line current loop is not a constant. Is as assumed in normally in circuit theory we assume the and in shunt voltage is constant, but in transmission line theory for distributed components there is a voltage drop occurs across each series increment of line. So voltage applied to each increment of shunt admittance is available, which produces, okay, which in turn causes the current around the loop is variable. Okay, so these are the differences with respect to circuit theory. So for this, we need to write differential equations and find solution for that. Is someone unmuting? So we consider the distance of this unit element as ds, and the series impedance present at this ZDS, shunt admittance present at this ds length is YDS. Okay, and the current entering to this point is I, voltage drop is E. For this, we are going to write the equations. This elemental section is of length ds and carries a current I. This elemental length, we are considering only the smaller length of a transmission line, and that length we consider as ds, and it is carrying current I. The series line impedance being Z ohms, series line impedance being Z ohms per unit length. The series impedance of the element is ZDS because Z per unit length. Okay, for DS length, it is ZDS. Then the voltage drop in the length DS is, voltage drop in the length DS is, that is also varying minimally. So DE equal to, okay, voltage is IR. What is the current? Current is I. What is R here? ZDS. So DE equal to IZDS. Okay. Then we can bring this DS to the LHS. So DE by DS equal to IZ. So this is one equation. Okay, we need to find solution for these equations. First, we are writing the differential equation for this circuit. We are writing the current voltage relation. Okay, so we consider the elemental length ds. In that, the impedance is zds. Current entering to this element is I. So DE, the voltage drop, can be written as DE equal to IZDS. And this can be rewritten as DE by DS equal to IZ. So any doubt in this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Similarly, we need to write the relation for current. Okay. So the shunt admittance per unit length of line is Y mhos, so that the admittance of the element of the line is YDZ mhos. YDS, because Y is for DS length. So the Y is for unit length. So for DS length, it is YDS. The current DI that flows across the line from one conductor to other conductor, this DI current can be written as voltage into V by R. Okay, so V by R. So here 1 by R is conductance. So that is YDS. Voltage is E and the conductance is YDS. So DI is written as EYDS. This is rearranged as DI by DS equal to EY. This is another one equation we are getting. Okay, so initially we wrote for DE. Okay, DE by DS we got as IZ, and now we are writing for current DI by DS we got as EY.
Ma'am,
Yes.
admittance is same as conductance, huh?
We call admittance. Actually, admittance is Y. Okay, this will be having real part as well as imaginary part. Real plus J. I mean only the values. Okay, numerals. So this is called admittance, and the real part is called conductance, and the imaginary part is called susceptance. Okay, all together, this is admittance. Normally, we write as V by R. Okay, this is generally, okay, relating to general, we write V by R. Or how we have to write V by Z. Okay, so if we easily talk, okay, this is a resistance. Or if we include the imaginary reactance component, this is impedance. Okay. And this V, 1 by Z is Y. That is what we have used here.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we are differentiating the obtained, we obtained two equations. Those two equations we are differentiating with respect to S. Okay. So what we got? dE by ds we got as Iz. dE by ds equal to Iz. Differentiating with respect to S, we are getting d squared E by ds squared equal to Z di by ds. Okay. We got dE by ds. I is Z. Okay. So in this Z is constant. Okay. We are differentiating with respect to S. So d squared E by ds squared equal to Z is constant. And the way, differentiable quantity is I only. So di by ds. Okay. This we are getting from the first equation. Then that is equation 6.9. And equation 6.10 is di by ds. di by ds equal to Ey. So if we differentiate this with respect to, yes, we get d squared I by ds squared equal to y dE by ds. See, we know dE by ds is Iz. So in this place we can, this place we can write Iz. Similarly, di by ds we know as Ey. So this place we can write Ey. So substituting these parameters, we get d squared E by ds squared equal to Zye, and d squared I by ds squared equal to Zyi. Okay. So d squared E by ds squared equal to Zye, d squared I by ds squared equal to Zyi. And here we can give the representation. Okay, we can write the signal in equation. The voltage can be written as E naught e power j omega t. We are considering sinusoidal variation, and I can be written as I naught e power j omega t. Now we need to solve these differential equations. So we got d squared E by ds squared. d squared E by ds squared equal to Zye. Zye. Okay. So in what to get the solution for these equations, this d squared by ds squared we can write as m squared. So m squared minus zy multiplied with e equal to 0. So here if we find the solution for m, we get m as plus or minus zy, plus or minus root zy. So for this we have to write solution this way. Okay. So if the solution is m plus or minus m, if we obtain solution like plus or minus root zy, then so for the differential equation we have to write solution in this format. Okay, these things you would have studied in mathematics. So E can be written as a e power root zys plus b e power minus root zys. Similarly, okay, similarly for current, we got this equation d squared I by ds squared equal to Zyi. Okay, both are differential equations of order same. The solution would also follow the same manner. Okay, so here I can be written as I equal to, so here the for E we used the constants AB. So for while writing I, we are using constant CD. So I equal to C e power root Zys plus D e power minus root Zys. So now we need to find the values of the expressions for A, B, C, D. Okay. So what are this E and I? Initially we have written no, E and I. This E is the voltage between conductors at any point. I is the current in the line at any point. So this EI E and I can be obtained using these equations. E and I can be obtained using these equations. But in this, A, B, C, D are arbitrary constants of integration. We need to find out the expression for these. Okay, so once we find the expression for A, B, C, D and substitute here, we get the complete expression for voltage at any point on the transmission line. Similarly, current at any point in the transmission line. Okay, after class, this PPT, I will mail you. You go through one more time. And you parallelly take notes also. Then only you will be able to understand better. So far, is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we need to find the arbitrary constants A, B, C, D value. So for that, we are going to apply some boundary conditions. Since distance is measured from the receiving end of the line, it is possible to assign conditions such that, see how we started, see this circuit, the length of the transmission line is L, and we consider this elemental section which is S distance from the receiving end. Okay, in case if it is at the receiving end, what happens? S value is 0. If S is 0, we can assume that it is considered at the receiving end. So that time we can equate the current and voltage to ER, IR. Okay, so I can be IR, E can be ER, because at receiving end point we have given notation that the receiving the load current is IR, the load voltage is ER. Okay, so if S is 0, this can be used. So yeah, we know and at this point we know S is 0, okay, and IS IR, ES ER. So those can be substituted here. The equation can be simplified. So we are getting ER equal to A plus B, IR equal to C plus D. In order to solve, we need two more equations. Two more relations we should have. Okay, so second set of boundary conditions we don't have. We are going to manipulate the boundary conditions which we already have. Okay, for that we are taking the same equations, these equations E and I equations we are going to take, and we are going to differentiate with S, then going to apply the boundary condition. So DE, yes.
Source voltage, source current is not boundary condition.
No, that also can taken, but this method is easier. So that time what we have to do, we have to consider the element is present at the source point. Then the S should be replaced as L, isn't it? Yeah. Then the complexity will go high, but this is easier.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So so we are taking the same E and I relations, these relations differentiating with respect to S. We are getting this relation. So dE by ds we obtain as A root zy e power root zys minus B root zy e power minus root zys. Okay. Similarly, we can write for the second equation, and we need to apply the conditions. So what is the condition? Yes, when S is 0, I is IR, E is ER. So if we substitute, if you differentiate and then apply the condition, we get two more relations for ER and IR relating with ABCD. Okay, we get IR as this form and ER as this form. See, our unknowns are 4. We have 4 equations. So solving these equations, we get ABCD expressions for ABCD. Okay, so this you people work out and check Are you able to get these results? Okay, you may get some other form also. Okay, we cannot say that is wrong. Okay, so but while solving you may get 2-3 expressions, but if you see the place of ER, IR, those will be varying as per your solution, but this is one solution. Okay, see, you can cancel out A in one equation and find B, and you can cancel out B, find A. Okay, relating that you get some expression. Okay, we got ER as A plus B. ER equal to A plus B, and ER is the receiving end voltage. This can be written as ZR IR. Okay, ZR IR. So this can be written as IR equal to A by ZR plus B by ZR. And these two equations can be solved to find the expression for A and B. Similarly, we got IR as C plus D. Oh, am I confusing? Yeah. We got IR as C plus D. We need to get C plus D. Okay. So this ER can be written as IR ZR. Okay, equal to this expression, and this ZR can be taken to the denominator. We get IR expression. Okay, both LHS or IR, these can be compared and obtain the solution for CD. Okay, so solving these, you will get the expressions for ABCD. Okay, so and those can also be simplified to this form. So up to now, we have seen the procedure, how to find the expression for ABCD. Once you do that, you get the expression for ABCD this way. Okay. And yesterday class, we have seen Z0 as root ZY. Root of Z by Y. And propagation constant as root ZY. So here, for root of Z by Y, they have written Z0. Okay, this way we are simplifying. We are obtaining ABCD equations for ABCD. Then substituting these ABCD in E and I equation, we get the expression for this voltage and current at any point in a transmission line. You see, at any point in a transmission line, we will be able to find the voltage and current if we know the receiving end voltage, receiving end, that is load end voltage, load current, or receiving end voltage, receiving end current. In 2-3 ways, the load see the load voltage, I generally write, okay, load voltage, receiving end voltage, okay. So the load voltage can also be called as receiving end voltage. Similarly, load current can also be called as receiving end current. Okay, so if we know the load voltage or receiving end voltage and receiving end current, and the distance from the receiving end to the point we want to find the voltage and current, using this expression, these expressions, we will be able to get the voltage current values. See, we have transmission line. Okay, source is connected here. Source is connected, and here we are connecting load. Okay, so this load is ZR. Okay, and the voltage is ER, and the receiving end current is IR. Okay, once we know these parameters and the distance from the load, yes, we will be able to know the voltage and current at this point. The voltage and current at this point. That is the significance of these equations. So E can be obtained using this ER. What are the unknowns present? ER we will be measuring, and Z0 for a transmission line it will be given, and ZR is the receiving end, that is load voltage, load load impedance. Okay, this is characteristic impedance, this is load impedance, and root zy is the propagation constant, that will also be known. So once we know these parameters at any point in a transmission line, we will be able to know the voltage and current equations. That is why we are deriving these equations. What is the purpose of deriving these equations? See, we consider one elemental section, no? Yes.
We can find E and I at a particular length.
Yes, we can find E and I at a particular distance from the load. Okay, at load side we will be able to find the voltage and current. Okay, we will be measuring, and then at a particular distance from the load, all along the length of the line, wherever we want, we will be able to calculate the voltage and the current using these equations. And these set, okay, the set of these equations can be represented in many format, whichever is convenient for us for particular use, we will be using that. Okay, here we obtained one expression. This can be rearranged and can be written in this way. This is another format. Okay, so this is having some special meaning that we will be discussing in the future classes. Similarly, these two set of equations can also be written in this format, and this can be this e power theta plus e power minus theta divided by 2. If that is the thing, then that can be represented using hyperbolic function. Okay, so this is the fourth representation, whichever is convenient for us for solving the problem, that we will be using it. Okay, so from the initial equations, we obtained the solution and we have written in this way. This can be rearranged to obtain this format. Okay, this is one format, this is second format, and this is third format. Okay, this is about general solution of a transmission line. So this PPT I will mail you. Okay, you go through that. And now also you can ask doubt if any. You can ask your doubts. See, only 49 people joined this class. See, attendance will be taken seriously. Inform your friends. And what about yesterday problem? Have you worked out? You need to understand that because these type of problems will be asked in competitive exam also. So UPSC is conducting an engineering service examination. Okay, so in that you see these type of problems they are asking. So you need to understand how to solve the problem. But if you have doubt, you should ask. Otherwise, how will we know? Pavitra, is it clear to you?
Ma'am?
Is the class clear to you? Are you able to understand?
Sorry, ma'am, my internet is really bad.
Mm-hmm. What about Magesh? 26? See, leaving the meeting will not help you. And you are learning through, okay, online. You should have proper internet connection and mic, video, isn't it? These are all basic nowadays. So concentrate on your studies. Go through the topics we discuss, okay, daily. Then and there you go through. Don't accumulate, okay. And this subject is very, very essential for EC engineers. What about now roll number 63, Kali Pavan? Are you able to follow? Vamsi, 32.
Yes, ma'am.
Jubin Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you have any doubt, you ask.
No doubts as of now, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, students. If you have entered your roll number, you can leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.